So I guess as it relates to Inver Hills, and we were talking about this on the way over. I started out at another community and technical college, and I got involved in my student senate, and then I ended up getting involved with our statewide student association. Now they're called Lead MN. I don't know if you guys have heard of them. No, that's well. Later, you should look them up because you pay them money. But they are the statewide student organization that represents students, like with the state government and with the federal government, to make sure that laws that are getting passed are good for students. So I got involved with them. And then I ended up getting involved with our statewide student association. Now they're called Lead MN. I don't know if you guys have heard of them. No, that's well. Later, you should look them up because you pay them money. But they are the statewide student organization that represents students, like with the state government and with the federal government, to make sure that laws that are getting passed are good for students. So I got involved with them, and I ran for a statewide office with the organization, and I won, which was cool. But to be in that position, you had to be a community or technical college student because you were advocating for community and technical college students. But the school I started out at was really small, and it had a lot of technical programs, like electricians and engineering and nursing, graphic design, stuff that I wasn't really interested in. And I'd taken kind of all the other classes that I could have outside of like the technical programs. And so I moved to the Twin Cities. And I was trying to decide, like, do I go to Normandale or do I go to Inver Hills? Because even though I was moving here, I had friends at both schools. And I decided that I liked Inver Hills a little bit better. So I came here, and I got a job as a student worker in the counseling and advising center, kind of right away. And that, professionally, that was a really good experience for me, because I learned a lot here in the classroom, but that also helped me realize that I really like working in education, and so now I've been working in post-secondary education, for like 10 years. So, but that started here at Inver Hills, so now I work at Metro State. And I, so my title is a Gateway Associate. So kind of anything that you might have a question about as a student, I probably will help you with. So if you are having a hard time figuring out your financial aid, or if you're having trouble registering for a class, I can usually help you, or if you can't figure out what books you need, or kind of anything like that. That's what I do right now. So there's, but yeah, so that's a little about me. I live here in Inver Grove Heights. So this was not an influence at the time, but one of my friends who went here, I also kind of had a crush on him. And I ended up marrying that guy.
That's nice.
And he's from here. So, so we've lived here, and we have 3 kids. We all have kind of stayed in the community, and my oldest daughter is in kindergarten, now here in the city. So yeah, it was really, I feel like it was a good decision to come here because, I met my husband, and we have a really great life here too. So that's really cool.
That is.
So I think working in post-secondary education, I think, especially in the Twin Cities, I think working in the counseling and advising center really helped me a lot to move forward, because I worked every day, and so I would always. I don't actually think I ever met with a counselor or an advisor when I was a student here, which is probably not very good. But I still learned a lot from them because they would, like come out from appointments with students and be like, oh, this student is transferring to Metro State. Can you give them some information on like this and this and this?